Yeah, I need to ask a question.
Yeah.
Dana, are you sharing anything?
Yeah, I can do it.
Or
Or if you run late, I can skip it. I'm
no, it's
good either
fine.
No,
way.
no, she meant, are you sharing your screen?
Oh, no.
Oh, you're not. Okay. I just
Tim
wanted
was
to.
like, I'll just skip it.
No,
I love it.
We're
no,
not letting
ma'am.
you off
Whip
the
out the
hook that
bat, Jack.
easy. You are not getting off the hook that easy.
No, my dear.
Embrace what you find to be a challenge.
Yes.
It's 10:30.
Amazing.
Here's Reverend Bill with your God call.
Ah, that's like a breath of fresh air. And what we mean is that there is something brand new that's come into our experience. But the interesting thing about a breath of fresh air is that we usually don't notice a breath of fresh air unless the breathing we've been doing has been stale or sour or smelly or otherwise unpleasant, in which case a breath of fresh air is something new and wonderful. Instead, be grateful for that breath of fresh air that you just took, regardless of how similar it was to the breaths of fresh air you've been taking all day long.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. Give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give praise now. Selah, 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 for all that is. Ashe, 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 for all that is. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give praise now. Hallelujah, 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 for all that is. Namaste, 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 for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give praise now. We give praise and I say, Namaste. We give praise for all that is.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. And good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the 17th of December. We have a wonderful presentation today by our Artists Way group, who has been artisting since the beginning of October, and they're going to share with us some of their art results and experiences. I'm really looking forward to that. And in the meantime, we're on Zoom. You know how to do a virtual celebration at this point. Keep yourself on mute, except when you're going to be sharing. Raise your hand either in the screen or using the little digital reaction button when you want to get our attention and share. And let's all unmute and make a big old noise together right now. Repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
Joy.
Is the season for joy.
This
It
is
season
Season for
joy.
joy.
And I know love is right here, right now.
I know
And
love
love
is
is right
right
here.
here.
It's right here
Right
and
now.
right now.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Mute once again as I remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. Welcome home. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us. And do we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs? The way we like to say it around here is your new life begins with a new thought. If you have extra electronic devices that are going to distract you in the next hour, please dispense with them. You probably don't need to throw them out a window or put them underwater, but maybe switch them off or turn them to shush so that we can turn our attention towards each other and turn our attention within. I'm Bill Marchiony, the spiritual director here at New Thought Philadelphia, and our music today is the lovely Anna Wawryzniak, who is zooming in from London. An advantage of doing these things online because we get world-class artists from all over the world. Our practitioners for the celebration today are Jesus Baez and Carolyn Nixon, both RSCP, and Carolyn is going to open us, as we open everything, with a practical prayer.
Peace. Peace, be still. Peace, be still and know. Peace, be still and know that I am. Peace, be still and know that I am God. Peace, be still and know that I am. Peace, be still and know. Peace, be still. Be. Peace, be still and know that there is only one that's growing, expanding, evolving, interwoven, lovingly, peacefully, harmoniously, joyously, interwoven oneness of the Creator and all of its creation, expressing as one. I am that I am. Be still and know that all that is required of you in this moment is your presence, an open and receptive consciousness, and the willingness to allow this celebration to flow through you. And know that this celebration is that one revealing itself in, as, and through prayer, through meditation, through music, through ritual, through the technology which supports this celebration and makes it accessible to many, many people. And be still and know that because there is only one, whatever good we experience here today moves out into the collective consciousness to establish peace, harmony, and well-being for all life everywhere. I let this be so as I release with gratitude my word into that perfect law, that creative medium which creates all there is, knowing it is, my word is fulfilled right here and right now. So be it, blessed be, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Carolyn. That was fun. Kind of everybody's rocking their artistry and creativity a little bit this morning. That is awesome. That was a practical prayer. And the reason we do a practical prayer is because they work. So if there is something that you've been praying for and you'd like to share something, you can raise your hand like Joe is doing so that you can share a prayer work story. Hey, Liam, it's been a while.
Good morning. Well, the immediate prayer story was that I got on the Zoom, but what I originally wanted to talk about is yesterday I was coming home with some groceries and had to pull over just, to just to get the car off the road and get the groceries in. And I just took my phone with me when I went back to find a parking spot. I drove down the street, forgot a parking spot, realized that the little pouch that I keep my phone in was really light. The phone wasn't in there. I swore it was in here. Looked in the car. Nope, not there. I said, okay, it must be in the house. No, it wasn't in the house. I was directed to look in the street where the car had been stopped and found it lying in the street. Wasn't run over, was perfectly fine, but I found my phone. Not even realize, well, not 100% sure it was lost. Before I could even do a prayer, I just said, nope, it's somewhere, and thought it was safe, and there we go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and so many times we say, "Oh God, where's my phone?" and then we don't listen for the answer. So that's perfect. Jesus.
Good morning. I like to like I said, live a life of prayer. So when things happen, it could be like, I guess for other people it could be magical, miracle. But when we live a life of prayer, things happen for our good. So on Saturday, and I like to, when I offer in and give my tithes, I like to do the old-fashioned way, put it in that basket. So I like to bring a check. And so on Saturday I had I did a job, was $300. But I didn't got paid yet, so I wanted to put it in my tithes on Sunday. So I put 35. So when the lady she Venmoed me 350, which is, and I said, okay. And then somebody called me. That was recommended by an old client, a good client, a client that have equity in my business. So it was like a week notice. So I took the assignment, and the person called me like 2 days before. They was having car trouble, so they had to cancel. So the guy texted me and said to give him my Venmo account. So I sent him my Venmo account, and then I put how much to send me. I put like a $sign and 125. That was like for the cancellation, my plane ticket, and the little fee. But then I said, wait a minute, I'm not gonna put the cart before the horse. I'm not gonna outline my financial prosperity. So I took it out. I erased it. I didn't send him that. So when he Venmoed me $300. And, if I would have put 125, that's what I would have get. So I kept it open, and it gave me I guess another lesson with God, that don't put no number sign, just put a abundance, and it will be 50%, 75% more than what I expected. So that was real remarkable. It was a lesson, a spiritual lesson for me. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Jesus. Yeah, and that is a perfect example. Actually, those are two perfect examples of how prosperity consciousness works, because time is a construct. So we experience time, but the infinite is aware of all of this unfolding. So you don't need to be grateful for something after it happens. If you tithe 10% routinely, and then you tithe on money that you haven't gotten yet, it's possible you raise the tithe, you raise the amount that's coming in. And yeah, and when we open ourselves up to our prosperity, we don't say, I open myself up to $125. I open myself to my prosperity, and don't limit the universe in the same way that you just did. So thank you very much for the lesson. Jane.
Good morning. So those of you who know our dog, that we've talked about, our dog Jack, he's very reactive and kind of aggressive, and when he's outside, and I have not walked him by myself for a couple of months now, because he had dragged me down to the ground a few times, and I was so like traumatized over it. I told Breen, I'm not walking him anymore. So I didn't. And then until this past week, Breen went to St. Louis for a couple days, Tuesday through Friday. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to walk Jack now. Like there's no getting around this. So I must have taken him for 15 walks throughout the course of this, all the time Breen was away. And every time I went outside, I did a practical prayer for every single walk. I was like affirming that he was going to be behaving perfectly. Everything was going to go smoothly. And I swear to God, it's like every time I took him out, it's like the sea parted. There was not a dog in sight. It was wonderful. Like he did all his business, walked his thing. I had no encounters. I didn't even see other people. In fact, I didn't even pray specifically for no UPS man or mailman or Amazon trucks. But when I think about this now, they didn't even show up either. And this is Christmas season. And you would think 3 or 4 walks a day, I would run into a mailman or an Amazon delivery guy. Not even a trash truck on Tuesday morning, Breen. Not even a trash truck in sight. I was like, okay, practical prayer works.
Thank you, Jane. I love it. I love it. I had a little practical, little prayer work story over at our house here. My daughter Tori and her husband went to his family gathering last weekend, and then Tori and I went to an event in South Philly together on Tuesday. And on Wednesday or Thursday, her husband came down with COVID, and it turned out it had been from the weekend event. So the prayers immediately became that everybody is healthy and comfortable, that especially being me and Dina after the exposure. And it's always interesting when one person in a bedroom gets COVID and the other person doesn't. But Tori has been a little sniffly, but testing negative for COVID, and I'm clean, and prayer works. And that's, I think, in large part Dina's prayer work story, but she wanted to save herself for the Artist Way presentation and for the announcements.
This end of season information is on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly newsletter. Please sign up on the website so we can keep in touch. We host a 15-minute meditation on Zoom twice every day. If you haven't taken part lately, Zoom in this week because they're fun, inspiring, fun, quick. Did I mention fun? Okay. Our winter solstice celebration is Thursday at 7 p.m. We'll be hybrid from Falzer Club as the longest night of the year begins. Sonic Yogi, Ginger Coyle, and the senior druid from Philadelphia's Oak Grove Druids help us lead in celebration, knowing with full faith of the return of longer days that are about to begin. I'm ready. The event is on Facebook, Instagram, and Meetup. Like, share, invite your friends and family. Episode 131 of Rev Bill's Practical Prayer podcast is Doubting God Within. Get it where you get your podcasts. Join in the live online recording session on New Thought Media Network at 1 p.m. on Monday. Follow our spiritual media. Yeah, it is that, but also our social media on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube, and join the 1,654 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. The Power of 8 Intention Circle meets on Zoom every Monday at 6:30. If you haven't taken part, please join us tomorrow for this powerful group spiritual practice. The last Sunday of the year will include a virtual white stone ceremony. Pick up one at the solstice or email info@newthoughtphilly.org to get one. Set the stage for transformation in 2024. Rev Bill is offering spiritual counseling and practical prayer packages that will help you or your gift recipient step into the life you've been dreaming about. Or you could do well visits to keep everything moving smoothly. We are grateful for your tax-deductible donations by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit card, or debit card. And thank you to the team that makes our celebrations work and has fun doing it. To join the joy, contact Sandy. Next Sunday is Online with the World I Want. Rev Bill invites us to look beyond the things we dislike into a pivot with ideas about how to claim and experience the good that we desire. Live original music provided by the jovial and lovable, and he is Jeff Lesser. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Carolyn is available for a quick Miracle in a Minute prayer. We'll leave the Zoom open after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank
That's
you,
it.
Nina.
Back to you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So this is the time when we welcome people who are coming here for the second time, and also have a blessing for them and a blessing for the people who are here for the first time. There is nobody who is here for the first time, from what I can tell, but it's been a while since we've
Not
seen
true.
Julie.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Wait, Julie has been with us before?
Oh yeah, Julie has
Yeah,
been with us.
came a couple times.
Yeah,
Ah,
at the
sorry.
CA house.
Sorry, that was a long time ago.
But your first time has worn off. So we're gonna give Julie a booster and also send this blessing out to everybody. So go ahead and rub your hands together. Julie, just
Thank you.
accept, just be in the flow here. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your love with us today. And welcome. So as Anna does the next song, let's go ahead and go into gallery view so that you can make eye contact with the people with whom we are in community.
People get ready, there's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear that Jesus humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord, yeah. People get ready, there's a train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key, open the doors and upon them. There's room for all the loved and lost, yeah. Now there ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who'd hurt all mankind just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances are thinner, 'cause there's no hiding place from the King on his throne, yeah. People get ready, there's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the Jesus humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord, yeah. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to light the flames of faith now. Christine is going to lead us in this. And when we get to the second candle, shamanic traditions, that's talking about things like pagans and druids. And we get to learn more about them at our winter solstice celebration. Just sort of pitch and promo. Christine?
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the diverse feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. Today's reading comes from How to Use the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and it's brought to us by Karen.
What relationship does universal intelligence have to an individual's activities? What is the relationship between spirit and man's business or profession? Well, the divine mind, being the sole and only creative agency in the universe, finds in each individual a new and fresh starting point for its action. This is the conclusion which the deepest thinkers of the ages have arrived at. It in no way limits the infinity of mind. It does show that in the infinite there is neither big nor little. It is the cause of all action, even when we call it large and small. Each thing is to it as an individual action of itself. Therefore, all the power, presence, activity, and law there is back of every individual act. One writes, it is the universal mind calling on its own creativeness to project an idea which it holds in its own imagination. Emerson said that history can be understood only by realizing it to be an activity of the universal mind on this planet through a period of perceptible time.
Been running, chasing tomorrow, yesterday, next year, and the future. Afraid that some things will not come, that I'll be running out of time, but there is nowhere I need to be. Timelessness, this second sets me free. Right in this moment, I'm so alive. Been waiting for so long just to arrive. Couldn't find the answer yet somehow. just the present, not enough to last. You're leaving now, but search for something better. Tomorrow it will be their past, but there is nowhere I need to be. Timelessness, this second sets me free. Right in this moment, I'm so alive. Been waiting for so long just to arrive. Couldn't find the answer yet somehow. It's now, it's now, it's now. 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 Waiting for someone to show you how to. Maybe this time you're gonna find your way, be strong. Looking everywhere for something that's been here all along. But there is nowhere I need to be. Timelessness, this second sets me free. Right in this moment, I'm so alive. Been waiting for so long just to arrive. Couldn't find the answer yet somehow. It's now, it's now, it's now. It's now, it's now, it's now. It's now, it's now, it's now. It's now, it's now, it's now.
Beautiful, Anna. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's original. That was an original by Anna. And with things like that, it's creativity becomes obvious. There are some jobs where creativity is just explicit. Performer or designer or sculptor or painter, a writer, a creative director. That one even has creative right in the name there. Filmmaker. There are lots of jobs and tasks and roles and activities that we think of as creative. And some people say, oh, well, I'm not creative because they don't have one of those jobs. But the fact of the matter is we are all creative. We are all creative. We are all using that one creative power that creates everything to create this next new experience in our life. Our creativity is the way that we share the skills and talents and gifts that we have to bring something new into the world. And sometimes it is labeled art, and sometimes it's labeled something different. And the Artist Way group has been diving into their inner artist, into their creativity, and they are going to share with us today what's been going on with them for the last 12 weeks. And kicking us off is going to be Dina, who is the head hench person and leader of the Artist Way group.
Hi, guys. I want to start my timer so I don't go past. Here we go. This is how we started, a little piece of how we started 12 weeks ago.
There's plenty to learn from our own mistakes. I might embarrass myself, but that's okay. Every journey begins the same, and I won't worry this life away. Sometimes good things still come late. Yeah, the future hasn't happened yet. I'm still unfolding every day. I cannot wait to get this started. Just getting started.
Yeah. So The Artist Way is a book and a process that was created by Julia Cameron. The tenets of this 12-week journey is to write 3 pages in the morning every day, read the chapter in the book, do the tasks, and have an artist date each week. This group met Sunday nights to listen and support each other, as well as to provide accountability through the process. We added a show and tell aspect if we created something during the week that we wanted to share, and a more general sharing. I had some specific ideas when I got to facilitate this group, things that I artistically wanted to open for myself. I think all of us experienced that opening. I started writing again and singing and playing again. I had more kitchen dance parties. I felt freer and more expressive, and all of this has been deeply satisfying. I really felt safe in this group. Each one was generous, respectful, open, and supportive. We experienced tons of laughter, but there was also space for tears and sadness and grief. And I was amazed and inspired. And I better not cry. It's going to take up time. Oh, geez. By these people. So one of my favorite artist dates, as I took myself to the local poetry circle and performed a couple of pieces. Now, I've performed before, but not in a very long time. And I hadn't heard the pounding of my heart in my ears and still have to be present to perform. It was exhilarating. I felt like I had successfully climbed a big mountain. And that's how we feel when we open and we stretch ourselves beyond what we thought we could do. So I wrote a piece this week. This is my show and tell. It's inspired by and in honor of my fellow artists who traveled the last 12 weeks with me. And it's called Be. Be the light in the darkness, illumine the night. Allow all your fears to ascend and take flight to a place far away where they melt like warm snow. Then the lightness inside you is free to show. Now just access the river within. Just go where she takes you. It's safe to begin. Unconditional love, a gift that is given without anger or judgment. We're freer to live in a miraculous now with untold treasures. The power you have truly beyond measure. So take a deep dive and then take a deep breath and watch what hasn't happened yet. Connection transports us from here to what's next. You're the magic, you're the light, flame on and meet the you haven't met. So now I'm turning it over to this beautiful cohort. And my friend Sandy is next.
Dean, that was so beautiful. So hi, everybody. My experience of the artist's way. Well, first and foremost was my experience of our mighty little class, just the 5 of us. Jane, Green, Dana, Dina, and me. It just worked. Like Dina said, it just worked. And more important than any of the content of the course was the love and appreciation I felt for myself and these precious beings. Dina's incredible kindness with her sweet, vulnerable self showing. Jane with her sensitivity, feistiness, and badass self. Dana, her shyness, her humor, and her wisdom. And Breen blew my mind with the energy of the Energizer Bunny and his desire to milk this life to the hilt. We shared deeply, we laughed a lot. I know I'm repeating what Dina said. And for me, what could be better? It so met my need for being met. Journaling was a big deal every day. Everything comes out in journaling when you do 3 pages every day, just like vomiting. I got the gratitudes, the insights, the resentments, the to-do lists, the confusions, the suggestions, and the intuitions. And in rereading those, I got to see how I'm a genius and a procrastinator, a bitch and a saint. Basically, I got to see all of me in black and white. And the artist states were the best part of the artist's way for me. They were an opportunity to flood my inner child with fun, beauty, play, and stimulation. My most memorable was one rainy afternoon, all by my little self. I went to Kilwin's Candy Shop in Suburban Square, bought a caramel apple dipped in peanuts, and walked around in the rain eating my candy apple. I felt like I was 12, free, and blissed out. So I want to show you briefly some of the highlights of the last 12 weeks. Faces have always been fascinating for me, my own included. I've been drawing cartoon faces since finding it a good way to focus in graduate school. I've created hundreds of them since then. During our 12 weeks together, I continued drawing faces, and one of the goals I made for myself was to frame a bunch of them and exhibit them somewhere, a coffee shop or a gallery, whatever I could, any place I could, where people could appreciate them. I did at least one artist date each week, usually more. I hit museums and galleries and the true love of my life, which is Mother Nature. I went to the mountains. I went to the ocean. I went to my own backyard neighborhood and spent loads of time outdoors taking photographs of this glorious fall that we had. And I found that nature photography is a natural for me, and I'm getting good at it. So I want to show you a couple that I'm really proud of. This one on Forbidden Drive. And, this one is like a little hidden. Let's see if I can. That one was just magic to me. And then the piece de resistance of the whole time for me was that I threw an amazing birthday party for myself. That was a creative genius on my part. It was my 76th birthday, and I threw a bonfire birthday party. And I had cherished friends. I honored the artist, the woman, and the human being that I am. And here's a picture of some of us there. And here's the circle. So I'll finish with I have spoken, which is a way that we talk to each other in our Artist Way group. When we would finish speaking, we would say, I have spoken, and the others would say, I have heard. So I'm passing it along now to Jane.
You're muted. There you go.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'm so glad that I took this class. I had known about the Artist Way book for quite some time. In fact, I'd had it sitting on my bookcase for 20 years. And had been feeling really stuck the past 2 years or so, especially since my parents and my brother passed away. I felt like I kind of lost that spark. And I figured I want to dive in with a group of people and do this. So my experience with our group is very much what Sandy and Dina shared, in that there was just so much deep connection with us, and it was this small, intimate group, and it was such a safe spot for us to share and laugh and support each other and cry and even do some fun things together outside of our class. So it was a great class. Morning pages, 3 pages a day. Some good stuff came out of those morning pages for me. And I've been journaling for over 30 years. So I thought, oh, I got this nailed. This is easy. I journal every day anyway, but it was challenging because you have to uncensor your writing. You can't, write in that, dear diary, kind of a thing. And so that was challenging at times. But then when I got on a good roll with it, I was like, oh my gosh, that came out of me. So the morning pages were really awesome. And I'm going to share something that kind of segues into the artist dates that I found in my morning pages that I wrote. One morning I wrote, life has become so predictable every day. When did I stop exploring and being curious? When and why did I become such a shut-in with such a predictable life each day? This makes me know that I've got to take my artist dates. I need it for my soul. Which brings me to my artist dates. I had lots of fun artist dates, but a couple of my favorites were my very first one. I went to the Hare Krishna temple, and Sandy went there too. She met me there, and it was just magical. Just the fellowship, the chanting, the vibrant community there, the welcoming community. It was fantastic spiritually. That really fed me. We went to a group poetry reading together, and I went there with the intention to just like support everybody else there, because I wasn't going to say anything. And then as we started going around in the group, I finally got my courage up, and I thought, well, hell, I'll read something, because I wrote a lot of poetry after my parents passed away. And then I just stopped. So I got the courage up and I shared some poems, and then I was like, oh my God, I wish I could read more now. I wish they'd come back around again. It was really great. And some synchronicities happened with that, because during this whole process, I've been starting volunteering as a hospice volunteer. And I have a current patient now, and she told me, I wrote poetry when I was grieving the loss of my very good friend, and I got myself self-published. So I was so inspired by the whole poetry thing, not even thinking that was my hustle. And I came home and I transferred all my poems that are in this book I've started into my computer, and I'm up to over 19 pages of poetry now, and I haven't even finished the book. So anyway, the artist dates are crucial. I really enjoyed the artist dates. And I just wanted to list some creative accomplishments that happened for me throughout this course. I started art journaling again, which is something I used to do daily, and I stopped doing for a while because I lost my art mojo, but that started to come back. So I've been doing those again. I started knitting again. I'm now volunteering. I'm painting a set for a children's production at a local theater for a Judy Moody production that's coming up. So much fun. And I'm writing poetry again. And so that's really cool. But I want to say that one of the things that I really enjoyed personally for me, taking this class with Breen, he motivated me so much and he inspired me so much, just with his enthusiasm and his newfound creativity that was just bubbling over. And so I feel like in terms of our relationship, we're starting to have a lot more fun now doing creative things together, and appreciating them more, and just being open to exploring and being curious about all the fun things around us. So that's been fantastic. I was not going to do a show and tell, but I think what I will do is I'm going to end this with a poem that I wrote the other day. It's a short one, and it's untitled. If your life begins to reverberate with the sounds of discontentment, change the needle and find some new grooves. There's so much new music waiting to be discovered. And thank you.
Okay, now it's my turn. Woohoo! I'm gonna start my timer. Boom. So at first, when I heard about this Classy Artist Way, I thought, yeah, I'm not an artist. Jane's an artist. Jane should do this. And I knew she had the book. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, I like doing classes with her. And I thought, oh, wait a minute. It's a class at New Thought with not Bill. Yay. Nothing. I love Bill, but it's not Bill. Let's check this out. And I went in thinking, okay, I'm an actor. That's a way of being an artist. And then as we got into it, I thought, and I love to write, and I've written some poetry and short stories and stuff. And I want to write more, but I don't do it. So I thought, well, that's going to be my focus. I'm going to be focused writing. And well, writing I did because we had this 3 pages to do every day. And I bought Jane and myself nice, 8.5 by 11 notebooks, and we switched. I'm now down. This is my notebook now. It's not 8.5 by 11. But I really enjoyed this process and leaning in and being around the people. And like everyone has said, just the connection and the camaraderie and the fellowship. And I started to look at writing, and I got this idea about a screenplay that I started to sort of flesh out. And I met a friend of ours, Kathy Shesky, who's a professional screenwriter, and she talked to me, and I bought a book about screenwriting, and I should unblur my background. And I got really into it. And then at one point, at home here, we started doing a little house cleanup. We got a dumpster, and I ripped out some built-in cabinets and started cleaning out a bunch of stuff. And one of the things was I had to get a lot of paint to get rid of. And you can throw away paint if it's dried out, and you can dry out paint by mixing it with kitty litter. So I had a lot of paint. I was mixing it with a lot of kitty litter, and I had this like aha moment where I like, wait a minute, I could sculpt with this. So I started sculpting with kitty litter and paint. And I'm going to share a couple of things with you guys. So this is the first thing I made. I made this head face kind of thing. And this is kitty litter and paint. And then I'm like, ooh, I had some green paint. And I'm like, this looks like ice cream. So I made mint chocolate chip ice cream. And this is a sculpture of kitty litter and paint. And then I thought, well, let me try something a little more, I don't know, representational. So I made this little creature with big eyes and a big pointy nose. And I had a lot of fun with it. And then I had this crazy idea, and I made this thing it's the kitty litter clay on tile on wood, and it's gray and red, and the colors don't come out that great. I could try to zoom in a little bit. And I called it Gaza because all the Gaza stuff was happening. And it just really, it's spoke to me. And then also cleaning out the basement, I found some chicken wire, and I thought, ooh, paper mache. I can make a form and paper mache. So I started to work on this head, which has become this, it's not done yet, but it's just morphed into this thing. It was just the head, and I made the base with the foot, and it's just, I've been having such a good time with it. And then our wonderful leader, Dina, challenged us or put out this suggestion, everyone should do something outside their comfort zone. And painting is outside my comfort zone. And I decided I was going to make a painting. So I created this. These are 9 by 11 panels, and I built this frame for it. And I thought, oh, this is really cool. So I made a similar one, much smaller, for my granddaughters for their birthday, because their colors are pink, blue, and purple. And then I had this idea about canvas on top of canvas. So I made this one, and I made the frame, and I call this autumn because I love the colors, but I was going to make contrasting colors, and I'm going to try to tighten this up. So I made, instead of these ones on top, these are 4x4, I had made these little ones that I was going to use, but I didn't like the colors. But Jean said, oh my God, I love that. And she commissioned a piece for upstairs in the hallway. So I made this for Jane. This is my first commissioned piece. We're negotiating the price still. And I used gallery wrap canvas, which you can see on the side. It wraps all around, and it's really cool. And it's just got me shot out of a cannon. And now part of my basement looks like this because I got an easel, I got a cart with a bunch of paint in it, and I've just been going to town. But I'm still into the acting thing. I've been reading plays, going on auditions, signing up for other auditions. So this artist way has created a monster, and I'm so very grateful for it. I love you guys. Dana is next.
You guys are a hard act to follow. For me, I love the New Thought community and I love being with everyone. So I was like, and like Jane, I've owned the Artist Way book for I don't even know how long. And never got around to doing it because I procrastinated about it. So I really enjoyed doing the 3 pages a day journaling, but it was challenging at times. But what I really loved was doing the artist dates. And I learned like a lot of new things. Like I had an artist date with a cherry pie and it was amazing. It was fantastic. I mean, because I really got into eating this cherry pie in a way I'd never eaten cherry pie before. Another favorite artist date I went on was I discovered that the Curtis Institute here in Center City, Philadelphia, has free concerts of their students doing their thesis presentations. And I went to one and it was a woman conductor and she was amazing. And like you sit so close to everybody, you see all their expressions and blah, blah, blah. And then my most recent trip to Curtis, it was a violin quartet that was the most amazing. They were so synchronized with each other. It's as if they were breathing the same breath together. And I learned that I like atonal symphonic music. So now my Spotify list is jammed with the likes of Anton Webern and all this like weird ass sound happening in my house. And I absolutely, completely love it. And I think so that was, and what I realized was I need to nourish, as an artist, I need to purposefully nourish myself on a regular basis. I've got to do it every week. I've got to make that date with myself. And that while being an artist is naturally kind of a solitary activity, being in community with other people performing solitary duties or functions or creative processes is really, really important. And that the community, and whether it's like we're all agonizing over writing these pages or, hey, Breen, fantastic. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear about your tryout. Or Dina, I still haven't heard this transformation from a goose singing to like your beautiful voice. I can't imagine there was ever a goose in the room. And Sandy's drawings and Jane's evolution, it's been, their momentum becomes my momentum. And I really have enjoyed completely this process. And I highly recommend anyone who hasn't taken this class to take it. Thank you.
Any closing words, Dina?
I think these amazing people have said it all. I'm grateful for them. And, I think it's been said. We have spoken.
We have heard. Thank you.
We have heard.
Bart Simpson. That's an inside joke.
Anna, you're up.
Thank you, and thank you for the students in the Artist Way. We already within. Let's go to the master artists. Let's draw our life. If we draw it, what are we going to put there? Put there with our beliefs and thoughts. Speak a little bit about prayer. We always praying, even when we think we're not praying. Our thoughts are prayerful. Spiritual awareness. Is prayer. Our conviction and faith is our mount of transfiguration. It's where we receive deep conviction that is a spirit in man, and this spirit is God. Meditation is simply words or prayer without words. Prayer of the soul, mind, and heart. It's like God talking with the tongue of the spirit and hearing him answer with the ears of the soul and man. Where he buries his treasures. Put your treasures in heaven, within the kingdom is ours. Because it's ours. It's God's good pleasure, our Father's good pleasure, to give us that kingdom. I am mighty. We are mighty. We live and move and have our being in the Almighty, where our creativity comes from. Our actions and reactions come from the one mind, that infinite intelligence that creates all things here and now. Let's draw our life. In some conditions, situations that we dislike, let's use the cleaner, the sweeper. It's that sweeper in the streets. That's the law of mind. Sweeping situations and conditions from our life. And the crooked ways become straight. Because our prayer life is some goodness, some beauty, joy, unity, creativity, freedom, power, the joy, which is God. That's where we live. That's where we move. That presence. The all presence, the ever present, the omnipresence is here and now. And as we go into a silence together, draw your life. What you want to take out and what you want to put in. What the human mind had put in, you could take it out. What spirit had put in, you cannot take it out. You could use it, or it could flourish. It's that eternal flame, that light of God, that Christ, that Buddha within, which you could desecrate, but you cannot eliminate.
The creative spark which dwells within reveals itself as works of art and so much more. Each of us is always creating, whether it is consciously or unconsciously, through our thoughts, our beliefs, our words, our actions, what we affirm, what we deny, what we embrace, and through our prayers. And it is with my willingness to remain curious, to explore different ways to do things, to produce things, to see things from a different perspective. And it is my desire to experience the fulfillment of creation. And it is also my desire to bring more beauty, more harmony, more richness, more sweetness into my life and into the world, which fuels that spark. And that spark grows and expands and opens up a pathway through which whatever gifts or abilities that I have that are unique to me, which may perhaps up until now lain dormant, this pathway is open and these gifts are free to be expressed. And I allow it to be so. And with gratitude, I release my word into that perfect law, which creates all there is, all that is impressed upon it, it pictures for us. And I know that this good that I claim right here and right now is fully complete and accomplished. So be it. And so it is. Take a deep breath. And as you let that breath go, when it has served its purpose, return your attention to our celebration for another song from Anna.
You've been through so much, so many ups and downs. You've given your love, but never liked the way it turned out. You closed off your heart to make amends. But you can remember that your healing is in your hands. And just let it go. Inch by inch, just let it go. And do it again, just let it go. One day you'll see, just let it go. You've set yourself free. You've been used, you've been abused. Someone came along who didn't value you. You carried the weight of your heart like a million rocks on your shoulders. But life isn't meant to be perfect, and we can't always win. But we can remember that our healing is in our hands. And just let it go. Inch by inch, just let it go. And do it again, just let it go. One day you'll see, just let it go. You've set yourself free. You've set yourself free. Gave it a roll. You put your blinders on when you looked around. All of your friends were gone. You took the fall. You carried their weight like a million rocks on your shoulders. Just let it go. Inch by inch, just let it go. And do it again, just let it go. One day you'll see, just let it go. You've set yourself free. You've set yourself free. You've set yourself free.
That's beautiful, Anna. Thank you so much. And to Carolyn and Jesus, and to the artist Wayers for their artist weigh-in. I gotta, well, we don't actually have any time, but let's take a moment anyway. If there's somebody who, listening to the artists or listening to what's been unfolding, has an inspiration that has been suggested, you go ahead and wave your hand, and you have to give voice to that.
Okay, real quick. I'm raising my hand, but you can't see me, so I just unmuted and said it.
Okay.
Green, it's so fun and refreshing and rewarding to see you in a state of joy. And you already are so capable and so able to do most things that adults need to do, but to see like kind of like bursting out at the seams, this creative, childlike joy of just playing, of not needing it to have a specific outcome or, like it's just, it makes me like get swells in my throat in a weird way. Like, I'm not sure if it's like inspiration or pride or like, I'm not sure what it is, but it's very inspiring. And who knew kitty litter and paint could be the thing to make you want to make sculptures. But yeah, thank you. That was awesome. It's very nice. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, all of it is inspiring. And yeah, what do you do with the kitty litter and the paint? So obviously make sculpture out of it and have a really great time. Go get a candy apple and walk around in the rain because it can be creativity. It can be. Uh,
I think Julie wanted to say something.
Julie got on mute. You still need to
Try
unmute.
again.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm not on camera, but I am so deeply, deeply touched. This was so beautiful, so helpful, so joyful. It really was a prayer answered. I don't even have words right now. It was absolutely a gift from God.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah, and a reminder for the rest of you that when an opportunity comes along, see what happens if you say yes. See what happens if you don't know the answer, but you say yes anyway, because that opens the door to creativity. Now back to Dina to lead us in the offering.
Gee, it's more of me. Yee. New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions, and the gift you share helps fund our work in the world. And the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there's a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen, and let's say it together, and you can unmute. I live
live in an abundant universe. I am one with the infinite source of all good. I am a center of conscious prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life.
Bless
Bless
my
my
gift.
gift.
I share
share
my
my
gift.
gift with
gratitude
and joy. I know
that
that
as
as
I
I
do,
do
I
receive,
do receive.
so it is.
So it is.
So it is. Woohoo! Anna, one more to take us home.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
What a perfect ending. What a
Perfect ending.
perfect way to wrap this one up. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much to the artists in the Artist Way class. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Let us close with another cacophony. Go ahead and unmute your microphone. You can repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am light.
I am light.
I am creative.
I am creative.
I let the love flow.
I let the love flow.
I let my light shine.
I let
my light shine.
And I let my artist out.
And I let my artist out.
And so it is.
So it is.
Oh, thank you all. Be